All right. Welcome, everybody. Got to rename this real quick. Welcome to the 1% Tribe. Tonight, we get to talk a little bit about athletic performance. So, something I love to talk about. Um, but we're going to talk about it in a holistic way. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Hang on. Hang on. I'm sorry. I'm messing up. Okay. All right. So welcome everybody that's here. Hopefully, you're having a great weekend. It was a fantastic weekend, gorgeous in Michigan. I know that. So as we were approaching today, we got a little funny story to tell you. The so as some of you know, this is our first run at like chickens. So so we have about six chickens, and then on Friday night, we're new to it. We knew, okay, we're getting it to where these chickens can kind of do their thing. I was, told by some great ones out there, like great chicken farmers. Now about dusk, they'll start making their way to their pen and those kind of things. So, so on Friday night, I was like, all right, that's cool. So I go inside, hang out for a while, thinking, all right, they're doing their thing, no big deal. So I go to check on them to see if they've gone in. Nowhere to be found. Absolutely nowhere to be found. I panic. I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm going to be a witness to a mass murder. There's going to be something in major issues. Um, and so with that, I was like, oh, so we searched and searched and searched and tried to listen and try to find everywhere they could possibly be. We could not find any of those. And so it was really hilariously made us laugh because as we were going, we figured out that that they were actually in the coop. We'd searched there several times, but they were actually sleeping like up in the top. There's like one other stick basically that they could roost on that was even out of our way. And so I asked, like, is that normal? And they go, no, they go to the highest place they can to sleep. And so that's what they've done. And so we thought we went from mass murdering all these chickens to they're back. So hopefully I will have some farm fresh eggs in the very near future is what I'm going for. So yeah, so that's what I had today. Tonight is going to be about athletic performance, but not just for kids. For everything, right? So everything from, your kids, the kids that you know, to yourself personally. And so I just want to get on. Let me make sure. I'm gonna try to see. We are going we're going to start doing a little different on this. We're going to try the live stream thing. I got to do a little more research where it's a straight live stream where I can see everybody's chats because I feel like I'm missing that when I stream over. I found out there's some good stuff where we could actually have our question and answer section um, be more of a stream instead of like taking a question off of the Zoom. So we're going to try that in the future, probably this week. We'll be switching that over, which will be awesome. Um, but yeah, so it should be awesome. So without further ado, I apologize. I'm taking a little time. Okay. So here is the two things I found today. Eat your prunes. Eat your prunes because oops, let me bring this a little closer. Okay, there we go. Eat your prunes because they're an excellent source to be able to reduce your blood pressure and it helps in osteoporosis, which is pretty cool. So make sure you're eating those delicious prunes. Y'all know you want one. One of the ones that's going to come up in media and very popular will be one that you will see. It's another Chinese herb that's fantastic for a lot of stuff, but it's the Schisandra berry. It's a red berry. Used as a supplement most of the time. Very hunter-gathery over in the Chinese medicine world. So you're going to see a lot of data coming out on that probably. The Schisandra berry increases and enhances brain function, libido, decreases stress, increases athletic performance, which I thought was interesting as well as we're going into that tonight. So there's some really cool things that we're going to go over for your athlete. And so hopefully, it's one of those things where athletics, it's kind of throws you, it's an overwhelming situation because now you have a kid that's going into these athletics, right? And first they start out small. And one of the things I'm going to recommend highly, even before we do this presentation, is to start them correctly as early as you possibly can. So even though they're little tiny practice here, practice there, train them in how to eat correctly around that, athletic event. Because a lot of times if we can start as early as we can, those are habits like what we talk about with all the stuff, is the programming will be fantastic. Like you will create a subconscious program that they actually eat pretty good. I find that like watching my oldest daughter go through, I thought she always did a really good job of fueling herself throughout a whole season. Where, in all honesty, she was one of the ones that I thought was stronger at the end of a season in that athletic stuff than in the beginning because like some kids start out strong, and that's what tonight's about. You real as a athlete, as a parent of an athlete, the biggest thing that you're going to want to understand is how is your kid doing at the end of the season? Like, so are they still energized? Are they burnout? Are they drained? Those are big things. And so, this last year, my youngest daughter was playing on a basketball team, and that basketball team did really, really well, but you could see the drag. You can see the drag overall on the team, which tells me it's something that and it's doable. It's one of those where once they have the knowledge base and understanding how to eat and do those kind of things, they should improve as that year goes on. And so that's what I want to concentrate on tonight. And then we shall go from there, and we'll show you some cool herbal things to keep it as organic and holistic as we can, because you know, in your the 1% tribe, you want your body to perform at its highest level. And the only way to do that is to have no interferences. So that is where we're going to start. So we'll go through this. Oh, yeah. All right, here we go. So I should be able to. I do this every time. View. Okay, there we go. Okay, so tonight is a holistic approach to taking care of your athlete or you. So this is not just for, the person that has an athlete. It is for you as an athlete. Okay. So as we go forward, we will want to, do this kind of thing. Sorry, I'm trying to check to catch the chats before we get going, just to make sure, because I feel bad when I miss them. Okay. So anyway, so we're gonna go through this, right? So we want to be the best athlete we can, regardless if we're just starting an exercise workout routine to feel better, and we're working, or are we, a kid starting out and starting to get more intense in their programs and stuff. So that's where we're at. All right, what are we going to do? Strategies to improve your performance or your child's performance in athletes in a holistic way. Some physical, mental, and nutritional aspects we can use to begin to stay healthy while working out, and what there is available to be able to, do these kind of things. All right. So let's get started with, oh, let me move this. Sorry. Having issues tonight. Okay. So let's look at the problem currently. Okay. So this is just my observations. This is not set in stone. These are the things that, science says. But as I've watched it, I've taken care of so many athletes. One of the things, and these are going to be the topics that I see as ones that need to be addressed, and maybe we can do a better job of them. We have to be careful of the very well advertising supplementations of the market. Kids now are inundated with so many data sets from all the online areas. And so one of the things that happens is sometimes it can lead them down a road of taking things that are their friends may take, or those kind of things that may not just be the best for them. And because they're just guessing, a lot of times I always think of my weightlifting life when I was young. My God, I wanted to spend every dime I had at GNC and all the different supplements that are there just to get the result. Sometimes that's, it's not that GNC doesn't have a bunch of stuff. It's just you don't know how to use it. And one of the problems is then you cause yourself some problems. So you got to be careful of that, especially now when it's like 10 seconds and you're getting advertised all over the place. The way our diet is structured throughout a day of a young athlete is a huge concern of mine. So probably the biggest concern I have in all athletics is this. We don't eat enough. Our kids do not eat enough, and they're really restricted through a school day in the ability to do that. And we'll go over, what it takes to be a student athlete nowadays. Um, the choices they have are still kind of subpar. If we're going to a public school, they're very subpar, like, with the nutritional value of what you're getting. So you have, a lower quality. You may have high calories, but it's a lower quality, food essentially. So that's where the parent of the athlete, or, if you are a person that's just talking about watching this for athletics, right? So your own athletics, you want it to be high quality calories. The overtraining that we see with some of these are really good programs, so don't get me wrong, but there is a ton of high intensity workout situations that are almost overtrained. And so what needs to happen is we have to understand that and go in and give ourselves a break. We don't need that result in 3 days, because it's not going to happen. And that's one of the biggest problems. One of the best parts of training is the word. You're training. You're supposed to do small little things, right? 1% tribe should have been 1% train. You want to get a little improvement each and every time and move up as you go, right? So we want to improve each time. If you got 10 push-ups the first week, Maybe you're getting 13 the next, but you want to track that, like in that sense versus the overtraining where you're not going to be able to complete it later. And then the other one that I see all the time is we try to keep the same process of, what, let's say we're took summer off, the whole summer off as a kid, and we're sleeping and we're going to bed at 2 in the morning, and then we're waking up at noon, and then all of a sudden, we switch to athletics, and then we want to still stay up till 2 because that was really fun. But now you got to go to practice the next day. So that the good sleep portion is a huge problem. And so a lot of times that can be a major issue. So we need to have a focused approach. We need to have a more focused approach when we look at kids and in general, the working adult, and how we approach in introducing the athletics into the day. We have a difficult time, getting proper food into an athlete before their performance. I would argue our kids are not getting enough quality calories into their day-to-day lives to be as active as they are in after school. We need to start here with some key metrics for adults and kids to give us a starting point. So we're going to talk about that. Okay, here's where we can start. Start typically with some kind of good breakfast or good calorie intake. I'm not going to tell you what to do, in the sense of what you eat, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to do that. Some ideas, a protein shake with some vitamins mixed in, some protein, maybe with some good carbs like veggies or possibly fruit. Get an app that tracks your calories. So, and your kids' calories, and make sure, I can't remember the name of it. There's one, MyFitnessPal. MyFitnessPal is a fantastic one because it actually even does the barcodes and how many you've had. And the ability of that MyFitnessPal to track what you need it to track is phenomenal. And so it helps a ton when you're looking at, how is your kid going to do? Even if you don't keep it perfect, at least you can get close to what we need to do. And we're going to go through that. Understand that school and work, you burn a good amount of calories throughout that time. Did you know using the brain, let's say you have a hard mind job where your brain is constantly using and then you get tired basically mentally, that can be up to 300 calories a day, as low as 20 calories a day, but up to 300. So always think that other way. Gym class, just the gym class in school can burn from 622 to 1,000 calories per class. That's pretty big. Now add a practice to that. And this is me assuming I didn't look this one up. The other two I did. Now add a intense practice after school. You have 700 to 1,300 calories burnt. Now we forgot about this one. You got to add some homework in there. Okay. So now you add some homework, right? So now you're at 300. The total there is 2,900 calories. Okay. 2,900. That's a lot. And the idea is that the one of the reasons why we struggle is because we don't match that. So we want to get as close to that number as we can in calories taking in so that your body doesn't freak out. Most of the time, we see that our kids aren't getting 2,900 calories, and the calories they're getting is from like junk food or those kind of things. So what happens is over time your body will actually start to catabolize. It'll start to do what it can to survive this onslaught of calories, right? And so a lot of times that starts taking away from your resources. So you have little storage things, we always think of fat storage, that's a good one, but a lot of your energy stores get pulled as well. You're going to hear about ATP, those cut styles of things. All those energy stores are a big deal. We have to make sure our energy stores stay where they're at. And the only way to do that is match it calorie for calorie, essentially. And if you're underneath that a little bit, you're sitting pretty good. All right. All right. So, yeah, I mean, you do it the same for the adult. So I think, So here's the example on the adults. You get up and get the kids around, which if anyone has more than, I don't know, just a dog, like anytime you have multiple children and you've been through this, you know it takes some major calories to get there. So I'm going to assume you're over a couple hundred calories at least just dealing with that stuff. You go to your job that could be physical or non-physical. So 1,300 calories if you're physical, non-physical, you're at 300. Some people are even more physical than that, right? So you're sitting pretty good for an 8-hour shift. And then you work on something at the house afterward, house cleaning project or something like that. Sorry, my dog bust through the door. That was awesome. House cleaning project or something you're building a building a barn out in the back, right? So you're building the barn in the back. So after work you're doing that. So that's an additional 500 to 1,000. So and now you exercise. So now you want to put this exercise in there. So now you're at 600. So you're sitting around 2,500 possibly more. But the problem is like how do we if we're not going to maintain that? So those calories are so important to understand what you're doing per day. And I think most of us underestimate what we do causing the weird part of this when you underestimate this you actually cause more of the obesity problem than we ever had before. So that's always fascinating, like as you go because your body will starve, and if it's too far away from that calorie count it will the next meals it'll be like, man, there's no way I'm letting you get rid of that fat. I need that because last time you beat me up on the 2,500. So that's where we're at there. Stay right here for me real quick. I apologize. I gotta shut that door or else you guys will hear a bunch of stuff in the back. Man, okay. All right, there we go. Okay. My corgi, man, she's tough. When she wants to get through some doors, those are pretty tough doors to get through for a corgi. So impressive. All right. So you get the idea. So like a lot of times when we start adding athletic stuff, we want to, and what happens with my adults is they're mentally trying to do it to lose weight. So what happens is they actually reduce their calories on their own and then add it to the end of the day of the work or the before the work, and then they wonder why they're not getting a result. And that's one of the problems. Okay, so like we talked about, balancing your calories is critical for the performance of your body. So this is going after that. Okay, so we're trying to balance our calories because we want our performance of our body to get there to the from the beginning of the season when we have all those energy stores and all those good things to the end of the season. We want the same energy stores. We want to be better at the end of a season than we do in the front. I'd say all the championships happen at the end of the season, right? So we want these kids to be ready for that. Same goes with adults. The end result is what we want, but we have to be able to get there. And the hardest part is like you start having energy depletion. I found that with myself when we started doing all the gardening stuff. So we were working, humping pretty good, found myself not eating the proper calories, at a certain level, starving myself and then causing myself more issues. And so now that I've balanced that out a lot more, um, feel great, start losing weight on it, like those kind of things. So, so you want, and most adults are going to notice this depletion, right, in about 3 months time frame. Same with a season of an athlete. Most athletes are going to have that depletion about like about 3 months in. You want your kid or you the best you can after the 3 months, making sure that all that is there. All right. So what else is important? I want to highlight tonight. And this is just being a chiropractor, just understanding what I see. Okay. We talked about it. Sleep is a must. We must change the programming of sleeping. Hang on, real quick. Who Is my attendee. Oh, Julie. Okay, cool. All right, here we go. Gotta close that. So sleeping is critical. When we add something like athletic stuff, exercise, it's a big deal. But that means also your entire day might have to change to make sure that we're not, working out hard and then staying up the exact same time you did for a Netflix series, right? Because that's what you got in the habit of. That's all that is. And so we have to change that. Mindset is another critical one. For me, the young athletes, there's so much pressure on these kids. And usually it's not even the parents. Kids want to perform, and they want to so bad. They want to take shortcuts. They want to do a lot of these things. And so the biggest problem will always be, like they get hit in the face with so many different little shortcuts that it's difficult, so you're gonna have to fight off a lot of these different little shortcuts. Hey, I gotta my buddy's taking this. I'm like, son, you gotta work out for a while to see where your body is, and then those supplements will help. Or, I see it with my football guys a lot. They get sucked in, they want bigger muscles, or those kind of things. So they start asking about supplementation to get there. The problem is they haven't lifted hard enough yet to even hit their max potential. So they're really not doing themselves favors, even though they think they are, because if they started eating right, doing those things, working, making sure they're getting enough calories in them, they will figure it out. I love that. Time management. Time management's another huge one that I see. Once you add this athletic event, exercise work routine after work, or those kind of things, it's really tough to figure out your time management. With kids, especially too, they have these practices and everything else. And as soon as they see, remember the programming of most mom and dads, to the kid is you're there out, you're there one to put their head on, one when they're tired. They can always guarantee that you're there so they can pass out, right? That's kind of where you're at, the comfort level of that. So what occurs is this changes a lot when you're doing excessive exercise out there. So just be aware of all those different things and make sure when you approach it, maybe that's why you struggle putting exercise routine in your adult life, or why is your kid struggling with their emotions, something like that. Okay. So all these aspects are huge in the overall performance of the athlete, whether they are kids or adults. It is up to us to do it the right way and allow the body to function at its best without interfering. How do we interfere? That's the next question. Why, what do you mean by good calories, bad calories? Like those kind of things, high quality calories, that kind of thing. But one of the things that happens is there is a ton of chemicals within things that help you promise better results. Good example for me is some protein bars, or protein bars that we'd have in weightlifting. I literally couldn't stomach. I couldn't even put it in my mouth for whatever reason. I'd have like a gag issue. And I go, there's got to be something wrong with that. Well, it was such a not good protein that my body was rejecting it, and I had to accept that most protein bars I was not very good at, especially the processed ones that you find anywhere, right? I think they're getting better now, where it's not whatever they were using before, but it's still chemically oriented. So you want to stay as close to natural as you possibly can. In this world, you'll get tricked. There's tons of supplements out there that'll mess with you a little bit. So you just got to be diligent and understand what you're taking. Okay. So even for athletic performance, in any way, just make sure you understand that it could have some chemicals in there that'll compromise you. Okay. The other one, this is kind of interesting, is undue pressure to be the top person. So a lot of people put this on themselves as adults and children. Children, you see that all the time, but that also creates a mental problem because now you have a mental stressor on top of all this other stuff. And that, remember, we're always looking at it holistically. We want that athlete to be the best they possibly can. And by putting these unrealistic expectations on them, you know, it makes it overwhelming. And so we have to do a better job that way. And then we do that same thing with adults. So we do unrealistic expectations of results from working out. We think in 3 months we lose this weight. We're gonna wear, the pants that we were supposed to be wearing. Um, you know, it's a journey. It's a journey, just like everything else. So quit putting those expectations on if you don't get there. Um, and then the other one that is crazy, that's a lot in work and athletics, is chemicals promising more energy. The amount of energy drinks and crap that is out there for that, it's just, there's a lot of bad stuff. That's one place you just gotta be smart. There's so much sugar, so much ephedrine, caffeine, like so much that some of these things will work. There is no doubt. They almost should be illegal, in the sense of how you will feel after. But at what cost are you doing to your body? All right. What are some ways to start living holistically in athletes? So this is my favorite list. Okay. So I love it because I've been blessed in my career to take care of a bunch of awesome athletes, from I had a pro, that's gotten in there to, every walk of college. And I love them all because it's so cool to see people strive for that human potential. And I'm even talking my work athletes. I love that. So my favorite is to get adjusted and correct all the subluxations. Okay, so make sure that your spine is working properly in your nervous system, and your whole body will be happy because you did that. I tell my parents to do that same thing. We do that a lot, which is awesome. And you can see the results when the kid ends up at the very end. Choose a really good vitamin regimen. Making sure whatever you pick, make sure you get as much vitamins as you can. You can, like, take the recommended doses, obviously, but make sure you got them all. Why not? It's just worth it. Things function way, way better. Sicknesses don't happen as often. Sleep. Remember, we talked about that. If you put yourself behind the 8 ball, and you try to stay in that same pattern of watching Netflix till 11, but I just did an hour workout at the gym, you're gonna pay for that, and that's what is really the hard thing. I really like this one, making really small goals, like super small, and achieve them, because it's already hard to step out there in your athletic endeavor. Make those little gains worth it. Don't beat yourself up for not doing 200 pull-ups because Johnny can do it. That's dumb. If you can do 5, do 7 and give yourself a high five, even if it's a personal high five and no one else knows it, right? Do it. Do it that way. Small little increments. Every time, so right now I'm in this weight loss mode. So what I'm trying to do is get my weight loss down as the garden's going in and all those things, because I kind of step away from, working out as much. I'm a very love weightlifting. That's my favorite. So pretty soon I'm gonna go back into weightlifting again, and I know I'm not gonna be where I was. So I know those little small gains will be the perfect thing, but I give myself a slap on the back every time I complete my workout. And then choose athletic supplements that are not filled with chemicals. So the biggest thing is go as organic as you can, as holistic as you can, and you'll notice a big difference there. And so we get to talk about the cool holistic stuff that we have at the office. So we've gotten into a bunch of different cool supplementation. This is one that I've created. I didn't create the supplements. This is like, there's lots of different, herbal
solutions. This is what we call the athletic starter pack. Okay, so this is what I would start with. Whether now, so this starter pack was set up for kids and adults. So please understand that. Like, so when I say a couple of these, you'll be like, "Oh, kids don't have arthritis." I go, but they can have joint health. You probably want that. So that's not a bad idea. Okay, so the company we use is called Chups. Chups does a lot of cool tinctures and a lot of stuff handmade, and we are so lucky to have them around as close as they are to us. This is the first one's called is a joint tonic, and it's for joint inflammation because most of the pain that you ever experience in a athletic workout is actually inflammation in those joints or the muscles. That's literally how athletics, that's how you get sore. Okay. So we have to, if we reduce the inflammation after we work out, we're sitting really good. We have at the office is called Aniva multivitamin. Aniva is a liquid multivitamin with 32 plus vitamins and minerals in it, but it's in a liquid form. The reason you do that is it's really fast absorption, which allows you to take a little less. Even though I love the stuff, I don't know if I'll ever switch to anything else. And it tastes good even in water. You don't have to like fight it off, but that's our thing. But if you got another supplement, try it, but just make sure you get as many vitamins in you, vitamins and minerals as you can to make sure you're doing good. Get a good deep muscle salve. So Chups has a really good one. Um, if you get real sore, this stuff works great. Like work those muscles. It's okay to, rub in there when you're sore. Inflacom is another one that I love the idea. This is one that I do like post workout. So post workout, you're going to have all that inflammation. So why not have 7 herbal uh, anti-inflammatory types that will help with that inflammation? Creatine. It is a muscle building. It's what is built within your body. So your body actually produces this. But we found that there's a really good natural one. And at this Chups place, some creatines on the market are full of chemicals. Um, it is one of your body's ways to build those muscles up, and it's an energy that your body can use to do that. Your muscles use that, so it's a very good one. A lot of your athletes will ask about it if it's something that you think they're ready for, which that not everybody has to be ready for it, then maybe you say, okay, you're going to take this one, right? The most natural one you could possibly get. A protein powder. Finding a really good protein powder. We use Aniva's. It does really good. Um, a really good protein powder is a good one because you get a lot of your calorie intake by that. You can get quite a bit in there in just drinking. So that can be a huge one for adding those calories that you're missing because a lot of times that's what happens is we're not sitting down. So you got to remember when I'm saying so what we said before, a kid that's an athlete might do 2,900 calories a day. That's 3 big plates, a big breakfast, a big lunch, and a big dinner. Okay. You know that kid's not getting that. You might get a huge dinner at the end of the night, right? And overdo it because you made it, like that kind of thing. So that can be a problem. But if you have too much where you're on the go constantly, a protein powder can help that a lot. And this one is really cool. I'm gonna start carrying this at the office um on a regular basis because green tea extract. So green tea extract, it helps protect the cells from stress. Okay. So that's a big thing because we stress out those cells. Like we said, we don't want to deplete our body from the workouts we're doing. So if that makes sense. So green tea extract, green tea does that as well. So that allows, and it makes sense. That allows the de-stressing of the human body. So if you've tough workout in your garden, then try to use that stuff. Okay, I think that'll be it. Oh, so what are we gonna do for the 1% tribe? Oh, I forgot about this. Aha. So create a game plan going into the new athletic event. make sure you and your athlete are on board and see how it goes. You may need to adjust as the plan goes. Don't stress about it. Just talk about it. Like my youngest daughter and I just went through it a little bit before this. What's she going to do for her like summer workouts and stuff like that? Like, what is she going to set up? And the kids are really good. If they know it's going to help them build muscle, then a lot of them are pretty in on whatever you're going to do. Keep a food journal and make sure that we're evaluating how our performance is during the season or during your 3 months. That's a huge one. And then you can see, okay, I haven't been eating well. That's why I'm so tired at the end of this 3 month session, right? In the workout. Like, why am I so exhausted? I should have more energy at the end of this. And then set those little goals, but keep them fun and doable. And then you will be able to look like this, Jeremy. That's what I look like. That's true. Okay. Maybe it's not so true. All right. I find myself funny. So I just let you know that. All right. Julie's on. Did you have any questions tonight?
Hello.
Hello, my dear.
Yes, I'm only on because I'm in Iowa and the time is different.
Oh, yeah, yeah. What are you like? Is it 9 or is it 7?
It's 7. It's
7.
out here. Central time is earlier.
Yes,
Eastern
it
is
is.
always later.
I love me
So
some Iowa. I love me some Iowa.
yes, I enjoyed what you had to say. My
Good.
biggest issue is I'm losing weight. I need to gain weight. So how many
Okay.
times can you use a protein powder? Can you do that a couple times a day?
You can. You absolutely can. And a lot of times I would make it different all the time. So like, if you get bored of it or you can have it as many times as you want to. It's not ideal. That's why with that situation too is eggs. I really, really like, that's a lot of protein. But yeah, use that protein powder. That's really good. And then get that for you, Julie, get the MyFitnessPal app. There's a free version. The thing is amazing, and it'll tell you a
What's it
lot.
called? Say it again. I'm outside in
Oh, that's
the
okay.
sun shining right by a pond, so I'm hearing a lot of traffic noise.
Right? It's called MyFitnessPal.
My Fitness Pal,
Yep.
PAL.
Yep. Yep.
Got it.
They even use it. It's so good. The kids at school use it for, their health class, which is really, really cool. So what happens is you can even scan the barcode of what you're eating, and it'll tell you, exactly your calorie intake and what you're doing. And sometimes it's really good to do that for like, a month and then go, where am I at? Am I calorie depleted or am I right on? I just got to get the right calories to gain the weight. You know what I mean? So, but yeah,
To gain weight,
yeah,
clothes are not fitting properly.
right. Which is yes. And with how active you want to be, that's definitely something you want to go after for sure. So keep doing that protein shake. That will get you there. That'll at least get you a couple hundred more calories per day. Easy.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else? Or are you good?
No, I think I'm okay. I just need to come and see you, and I'll be home by Wednesday, so hopefully either this week or early next week I'll come and get my back and my shoulders back to where they're supposed to be. They feel out of alignment.
Absolutely. Is it as gorgeous there as it is here? It's like perfect. Weather's like mid 70s and like,
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
I hope it would rain because I'm not there watering my garden. And
Oh,
I've
yeah,
had to have
yeah.
people
It
come and
rained pretty
water my.
good. Yeah. We had a couple nights of rain though. So it was pretty fast though. It wasn't like huge storms or anything. So yeah, that's so interesting. Well, all right, kid. That was awesome. You enjoy Iowa. And That's so cool. Thanks for checking in on that too. I love it. So, and we might, Julie, we might be doing it a little different way. I'll let you know though if we do. I'll let you oh shoot. No, right away. So we might do a whole like a true stream instead of the Zoom link. We might do it a little different. So I'll let you know if that happens though. Okay?
Yeah, because I'll probably have to be shown how to go about doing it. The Zoom is now
Abs-
easy, but
I know,
I'll
right?
learn. It
Of
just
course.
takes time.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, kid. Well, have a great night. You guys have a good night. That was
Thank
good.
you.